This is the injury report presented by NYU Langone Health. In today's injury report, we're talking about Mets ace Kodai Senga's unfortunate high-grade calf strain and if he'll even be ready for the playoffs with Dr. Natasha Desai from the Center for Women's Sports Medicine over at NYU Langone. Doc, we were just talking about this guy months ago with his elbow rehab. It's like the baseball guys just don't love this man. First and foremost, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. You good, Doc?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. Unfortunate that we're talking about Kodai again.
Yeah. Mets manager Carlos Mendoza said that he has a high-grade calf strain. I don't know what that means. Can you break that down for us, Doc? I mean, specifically the high-grade designation.
Sure. So high grade, it sounds more severe, right? It's a more significant type of strain. So a strain is graded on the number of muscle fibers that are torn throughout the calf. So the calf is made up of two muscles, the gastroc and the soleus. So I'm not sure which one, probably the gastroc. And it's usually torn at the muscle tendon junction. And so high grade indicates it's probably a near complete or complete tear.
Doc, when you see that video that we just played of the injury, what was the first thing that popped up in your head when you saw him go down? Were you thinking Achilles?
No, he grabbed kind of high. I would say probably a gastroc strain. That's kind of why I said that, because if he had an Achilles strain or tear, it's usually inability to bear weight, and you'll actually see that kind of muscle kind of bunch up at the top, and usually they're grabbing closer down towards the ankle.
Where he's currently on the 15-day IL, but Mendoza said that he's likely done for the regular season. So what's the typical recovery timeline for that kind of injury?
Yeah, so muscles bleed a lot. So it really depends on how much hematoma he has, how much bleeding, bruising that he has. With the high-grade calf strain, I would say minimum 6 weeks, but probably looking more like 2-3 months.
Oh my gosh. Does that timeline change for him since he's a pitcher and it's not on his throwing arm? Like, does a pitcher really need the calf that much? I mean, I sound stupid, but
it does. Like, pitching is a full body endeavor. It takes, obviously it's most strain on the shoulder and elbow, but you'll see, so much torque going through the spine, the hips, and the lower extremities. So when you're loading the leg, you are kind of putting an eccentric force on that calf, so it can be painful when you're loading the leg. It is his left calf, so that's his front leg. It would be much worse if it was his right one, which is in the back, and he has to push off of it. But it's still very much involved in pitching, not as much as the shoulder. But you see what he was doing there. He was going after a pop-up, so it also will affect his ability to be agile and do and involve himself in the rest of the play other than pitching if he's still plagued by the calf strain.
So what's his recovery and rehab like? Like, what's he doing in terms of drills or exercises for rehab?
So right now he's trying to get that muscle to heal, right? So much like when you break a bone, you want to keep the bone edges close to each other so they can heal correctly and quickly. Similar to the muscle, you want to try to evacuate any hematomas that may have formed and immobilize to try to encourage the fibrosis that's going to happen, the scarring of that muscle down. That will be early, and then they'll kind of work gently on strengthening, especially strengthening up the other muscles around whatever's torn. And then kind of the last thing that you do is really the stretching, because you don't want to keep stretching a torn muscle because you'll just keep aggravating it.
All right, so here's the 5-year, $75 million question. Do you think that he could make it back in time for the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, the postseason, we're talking a couple of months. I think that there's a chance. I think it's going to be an interesting thing since he did just come back from that shoulder strain. whether his rehab is going to look a little different than just a regular calf strain, right? They have to make sure that his entire body is ready for pitching and like being very agile. So I don't know is the answer. I think I would be cautiously optimistic that he can contribute. I just don't know if he's going to contribute in the way that everyone expects him to.
You know, it could be one of those things where Mets trainers are forced to protect the player from themselves. So can he kind of, I guess, fake full recovery in a way, or will they know that, hey, the calf is still not right? You see where I'm getting at?
There's an element. The thing that he could fake is pain, right? Ooh. Things that he can't fake are physical exam, like his strength. If he doesn't have the strength there, that's not something you can fake. If there's still like poor mechanics when they're doing their physical therapy testing, that's difficult to fake as well. But pain is something that athletes definitely tend to hide.
Yeah, and you're talking wanting to get back out there during the postseason for your teammates, especially kind of just playing, 5 innings throughout the season. I think that's definitely something that the Mets trainers are going to have to keep an eye on to protect him from further damaging that calf. Doc, that was fun. Thanks for hopping on with us again. No more Kodai Senga. No, we'll talk something else next time. All right, deal?
Deal.